An intel source telling me that President Trump did, in fact, win the election. He says that it is up to the Supreme Court to hear suits from other cases across the country to stop the clock.
What you just heard is a report by Maria Bartiromo, who says that an intelligence official told them that they believe there is information that indicates that Trump in fact won the election, and it's up to the Supreme Court to take those cases and stop the clock. And in other news, the DNI report about the election is under controversy, as John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence, says the DNI report must take more time in order to reveal all Chinese influence on the election. And this information, if verified, would mean shocking and devastating repercussions for the 2020 election. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we've got a lot to talk about, folks. We've got two major stories as well as the things going on in Georgia. You see, in Georgia, they're saying that they're going to do an audit. Georgia's Secretary of State orders study of mail-in ballot signatures after Trump pressure. Isn't that nice? Raffensperger saying that he's gonna do those signature audits and he's gonna lay everyone's minds to rest. We'll finally figure out if there was any cheating, any sort of misconduct in the electoral process. Aren't you glad? Well, don't be, because poll watchers, once again, are not allowed to watch the verification. Here on Twitter, LF says, urgent. This photo was taken moments ago by a poll watcher at the Congress Center in Georgia for the signature audit. That is his vantage point. He cannot see anything, and they're being kept corralled behind these barriers. How's this any different than before? Hashtag stop the steal. Now we're going to jump right into this, folks. But before we do, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, smash the bell button, and most importantly, share this content. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Introducing Battle Games Book 1. Taking place in 2090, after the War of Billions, people in the future fight gladiator-style sci-fi battles. The battle games are a professional sport. The weapons are designed to stun, not kill. The story focuses on the drama between the teams and their path to victory. If you're interested in science fiction, it's got it all, folks. Check out this book today by clicking on the link down below. And we're back. So, let's look into this, folks. The Georgia verification is an absolute joke. Look at this picture, right? These are the people verifying the audits, and then we're finding out now that the poll watchers are being kept like 60 feet away. I don't know, it's like 40 feet, far away. They're not allowed to actually look at anything. If people are wondering if there has been fraud or cheating in places like Georgia, their concerns are not going to be put at rest when they're still doing the same thing. By law, you need to have poll watchers to watch these sorts of things. They can't see anything. They cannot verify anything. It is a total farce. So when Georgia's Secretary of State, Raffensperger, or however you say his name, says that we're gonna do a signature verification of mail-in ballots, please, excuse me if I have skepticism towards whatever they come up with, because the poll watchers are not being allowed to witness the events. This, my friends, is blatant corruption. If nobody can actually see what they're doing, then we have no idea whether this is any less corrupt than anything that could have happened before. I don't know what the legal remedy is for this, but this is a major problem. In some places, the adjudication of ballots has gone completely out of control. Also in Georgia, let's find out what's been happening. Mike Coldry says, this is a shocking admission from the Fulton County, Georgia elections director. They said they adjudicated 94% of the ballots. A voter panel then determines voter intent, meaning they can change the votes. Forensic analysis now shows there is no audit trail for the adjudication process. So let me get this straight. 94% of the ballots in Fulton County in Georgia were adjudicated, What is adjudication? Basically, it means when the voting machine is unable to tell who voted for what, it goes to humans who look at the ballot, determine who the vote is for. So let me ask you something, folks. What happens when you have counties accused of election misconduct? One of the reasons, not allowing poll watchers, which they're still doing. And two, because you believe that shenanigans happened with the counts, that there was no verification. What happens when they do the same thing? You're going to get the same result because nobody is there to verify anything.
So far, we've scanned 113,130 ballots. We've adjudicated over 106,000. And we're adjudicating them from there. The only ballots that are adjudicated are if we have a ballot with a contest on it in which there's some question as to how the computer reads it. So the vote review panel then determines voter intent.
You are accused of treason and anti-Soviet behavior. The court finds you guilty and sentences you to be shot.
If you really understand what he just said, you know the extreme danger of it. Who is on this voter review panel? Is it an equal number of Republicans and Democrats? Is it independents? Is it a third impartial party? One has to wonder, because what happens if you, for example, have an all-Democrat voter panel? What if they determine that Trump votes are actually for Biden? Nobody knows. This is what happens when there is no oversight in the electoral process. This is what happens when there is no transparency. We don't know. And when you don't know, well, in my opinion, assume the worst. Now I want to talk about the upcoming DNI report. Here we are with the office of the DNI at ODNI.gov. So this is an official government Twitter account, and they say, Amanda Scotch, OBNI Director of Strategic Communications, quote, "This afternoon, the DNI was notified by career intelligence officials that the intelligence community will not meet the December 18th deadline set by executive order and Congress. The DNI is the Director of National Intelligence. Their job is to oversee the intelligence community." Now, why is this a big deal?
What did Ratcliffe say about election fraud and interference?
Well, DNI Ratcliffe leads the 17 intelligence agencies, and he has access to the most highly classified information that is held by the U.S. government. And he told CBS News that there was foreign election interference by China, Iran, and Russia in November of this year. And he is anticipating a public report on those findings in January.
These are extremely big claims, because if they're ultimately proven true, then essentially that means that Trump has the full authority to enact his executive order from 2018, basically dealing with foreign interference in the election. Now, the DNI report is currently not out. As reported by Twitter, it is being delayed, as December 18th is not enough time to finish the report. This may be because Ratcliffe himself wants to make sure that there is ample evidence of Chinese influence before presenting it. What will come of this? Well, a few things could happen. If it gets proven again, Trump could enact his executive order. It could cause upheaval, to say the least. Now, this isn't the only report. Here with Leo on Twitter, you can see. You may know this already, Sidney Powell, although just in case, see attached. It is a post. It says, "Dear Patriots, according to Matthew Billings, CNI data analyst officer who is stationed in Frankfurt, Germany, CIA field office Trump not only won all the swing states by a mile, but Trump also won Virginia, Maine, and Rhode Island. Matthew was trying to leak this data to the press and ended up losing his job for his heroic actions. This is the first time I'm using his name and unmasking his identity. With his and his legal team's permission, please support Matthew by echoing this post," etc., etc. We seem to have an awful lot of reports of intelligence officials saying that they've seen evidence that may indicate that Trump actually won. As of right now, Joe Biden is set to become the president. they're saying that the electoral votes have already been cast. However, in several states, Republicans have also cast their vote to designate delegators to vote for Donald Trump. So we currently have a situation where we have two sets of electors in multiple states. The Democrats and the media are saying that these dueling electors are not legitimate. I, however, think that it's something that the courts may have to examine. Other people are saying it's over. Joe Biden won. But the truth is, it's not over until Inauguration Day, because we still have time for people to bring up objections, and we still have yet to see a court willing to look over the evidence of the Trump legal team for this country. If you listen to the media, Joe Biden is already the greatest president ever. Here you can see on Twitter, The Hill says, new poll, 60% approve of Biden's job as president-elect. This is the kind of ridiculous nonsense that the mainstream media is putting out there. It is sheer propaganda. First of all, Joe Biden is technically not elected yet until he is inaugurated. Then he's president-elect. We're not there yet. We're on the path towards it, but we're not quite there yet. Furthermore, Joe Biden doesn't have a job. The so-called president-elect doesn't do anything. Trump is president. Trump is the one running the country. Joe Biden is not. 60% of people approve of his job as president-elect. Wow. And they're being roasted in the replies. Yasin says, the guy who had 80 million votes had 20 people show up to hear him speak in Georgia yesterday. Dr. Adam in Town TX says it best. Polling is dead. Anastasios Palathion says he literally had not done anything. And I think that pretty much sums it up, folks. It is clowny articles like these that make me think that the mainstream media is a complete and utter joke. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, you can support my channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar, as I am funded by viewers like you. You can also donate via DonorBox or by crypto. Links and addresses are down below. And lastly, sharing this video on platforms like Facebook and Reddit and conservative pages helps a lot. I want to thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.